Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on Superman Lois Season 4. Today we're going to be talking about some new behind the scenes look at different locations, different episodes and different stuff that is happening at the start of Superman Lois Season 4. Plus also we're going to talk about the potential first trailer for Superman Lois and when that's going to come. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into this. So as you all know, Superman Lois is filming Season 4 right now, the final season. We know that they're at least on episode 4, they could be on episode 5. If they're on episode 5, that means they're already halfway there to finishing, because we know Season 4 is only going to be 10 episodes total, and we know that they are stopping filming in April. I have to say, one weird thing about this season so far is there hasn't been much shooting in downtown Vancouver. We haven't seen any photos of Tyler in his Superman costume, and we're nearly at episode 5 in terms of filming now. So maybe that's part of the budget cuts, that they haven't been able to rent big spaces in downtown Vancouver where you would traditionally see photos of, you know, Superman out in the streets by many people out in Vancouver, and that just hasn't happened yet. We know that they've rented like various locations, but they've been locations that haven't been in downtown central Vancouver. It's actually been in like random locations with like different sets and, you know, out in the icy kind of mountains. So they're definitely taking a different approach to season 4 of Superman Lois, because as we said, we've only seen glimpses of Tyler just like in normal outfits instead of being actually in his Superman costume. So I don't know if that is actually a red flag already, that we're gonna get less Superman this season. I really hope that's not the case, but it seems as of right now you're gonna have less shots of them, you know, fighting in Metropolis like they normally would when they would go to Vancouver. It would be like big fight scene in Metropolis, or, you know, I guess the main fight scenes in Smallville would be more isolated and we wouldn't see much of that anyway. So I presume they've done stuff with Tyler in the Superman costume, and they've done action sequences in studio or in their kind of closed lots that they have for the Smallville streets, but it seems less Metropolis this season. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into today's main topics. We're going to be chatting about some of these photos first off, and then we'll get into the trailer conversation of it all just afterwards. We got these 3 new photos, and most of them have been posted by some of the cast members, including Alex Garfin and Michael Bishop. They've been very active online, and basically in these photos you can see, you know, this is just a funny photo of the Kent family, but what is interesting and what we've talked about before is they are all in black, and I'm nearly 100% certain after seeing more and more photos, more and more glimpses into this specific episode, which I believe is either episode 3 or 4, that there is going to be a funeral scene. Because why would they all be wearing black? Yes, they have different color shirts, they have different color jackets, but they're all wearing black suits or a dress for Lois. So you can be 100% certain they've come back after a funeral. So I'm just even more convinced, although now I'm still questioning whose funeral is it. Could it be General Lane? Is it someone else? But clearly it's someone that they all care about, and because they're all dressed up as a family. And so let's move on to the next photo, again from the same episode, because they're all wearing, you know, smart outfits. You know, they're all in these black suits. You can see Tyler's shoes are very smart, but they're also in the Kent family house, so that means that it's, you know, someone who's local, someone who is close to them. So yeah, let's move on to something quite different. We've got the respective actors who plays Chrissy, Jordan, and obviously Lois, and they're all here in this nice photo. It's very cozy photo with inside the set, so I think a lot of this season you're going to get inside their house, and it's just going to be like people maybe coming to visit them, and there's going to be less probably in the town and less in Metropolis, as we've said. But Chrissy is going to be in at least 1 or 2 episodes. But yeah, this is just a nice photo that I wanted to share with you guys, because it just offers a glimpse into the behind the scenes. And we got a couple more photos. We got Lois and Jonathan who are on set. This is not a set that we recognize, it's somewhere different, and this is something that, you know, I talked about at the start of this video, that they are renting these new locations, these new places where they're going to be shooting new scenes that probably have something to do with Lex, because we know that he is going to be, you know, out there, not necessarily just stuck in Smallville. So we're going to be venturing out. So yeah, this is a great photo, and you can see in the background there is this like kind of grand house, and they're in the middle of like kind of the forest, and you can see in the next photo we've got this barn, and this is just one of the sets that they're using. It's not something that they created. I think they've just like rented it out, and presumably at least Jonathan and Lois are going to be staying at this location, and it's just going to be maybe like a place that they rent, or it could be for, you know, Lois's journalism in terms of trying to crack down on what Lex is doing this season. And again, we don't know too much about what he's doing. But what do you guys think about them going out to all these different locations that we haven't seen before, and there being less Metropolis? Are you okay with it, or do you wish that we're seeing more behind the scenes looks at Superman? Obviously it would be nice to see Tyler in the costume once again, but right now we're kind of living off these behind the scenes that are just of like the whole cast. But yeah, so that funeral scene is definitely going to be happening episode 3 or episode 4. Then you've got them going around to these different locations and presumably staying there either for a vacation or they are there for Lois's work. But let's move on to talk about the final topic of today's video. This is to do with Superman Lois's season 4 trailer. When are we going to get our first look, our first official look into the new and final season? Well, we know it's been confirmed Superman Lois season 4 is coming out, and it's coming out this year, but it's going to be in the fall, so that's the autumn. Around, normally a full premiere would be October. There's a chance that they could release it in September, but if they go traditional with the CW schedule and most TV network schedule, they would release this in October. So I'm saying right now, our best guess is October 14th, 15th, somewhere around there. So when can we expect a first teaser trailer? Now, the first chance is obviously Comic-Con. That's where traditionally in the past the Arrowverse shows would have their trailers released. So that is normally July every year. So it's definitely possible. We know DC are likely to have a presence there just because I think there is going to be some big announcements in terms of the DCEU sometime soon. Comic-Con would be the perfect place to do that, to get people to come back and see them in person. So obviously that would be like a James Gunn situation with the DCU. But could the CW send the Superman Lois cast to Comic-Con in July, considering that they would have finished filming in April? Yes, that's definitely a possibility because the timings work out. So I'm not going to say that it's like super likely because they haven't been in years, that being the CW shows, because I guess that just was taken out of all the actors' contracts because of the pandemic, and now that is, you know, a slim possibility. But I'm going to say it's more than likely that they're going to probably skip San Diego Comic-Con and they will go for probably their own release date. And so September for sure, because if it's releasing in October, sometime in the middle of October, I'm sure we're going to get lots of content by the end of September, you know, within that 1 month period or the last 3 weeks before the show comes out. Obviously they're going to talk about Superman Lois season 4 at the CW upfronts, which I believe are in May. Don't expect anything by then, despite them having filmed like 4 episodes at least already, because they're not going to want to release it that early. Like, it makes no sense if they're going to be releasing episode 1, the premiere of the final season, in October. So September makes the most sense. This is almost guaranteed that there's going to be lots of content, not just talking trailers. I'm talking sneak peeks, photos, synopses, interviews with the cast and crew. But definitely I would say the start of September or the end of August are a really good bet for when we're going to get that first trailer. I mean, I know this makes complete sense and it's nothing crazy that I'm saying here, and you guys are probably even thinking this yourself, so don't, you know, take this as like, oh, this is like revolutionary news. But yeah, expect it end of August, start of September, but definitely going to have all the content ramping up by the end of September as we head towards October, where Superman Lois season 4 is most likely to be coming out. So I really look forward to seeing a proper good look into the season, because we've only got behind the scenes right now, and as I said earlier, we haven't even had a look at Superman yet, which is just really weird at this point, because normally you get it straight away within like the first 2-3 weeks of them recording. But now we're, you know, in March and they started filming back in January, so it's nearly been 2 months, which is kind of crazy, and we've only seen kind of glimpses into the behind the scenes. So What do you guys think about all of this? Do you think we're going to get a funeral scene in Superman and Lois early on in the season? Who do you think it is? Is it anyone important from the main cast? But that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It would really help this video get out there. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.